So let's talk about some of these draft eligible quarterbacks. Which ones do you like? I imagine you would have Lawrence number one. Whatever.
Yeah,
How would you rank him? How would you rank him?
I would keep him number one for now. I haven't watched a ton of his stuff this year.
Okay.
It's hard to juggle a lot of film watching with work and everything else going on, but I will get around to watching more Lawrence before the draft, but
he's not even in the conversation.
I don't think he's even really in the conversation for the 49ers anyways. But I'm comfortable with him number one right now, just based on what I've seen nationally on TV. But number two, I'd probably go Fields. I really like Fields.
What do you like about Fields?
Just his mobility and his arm. Yeah. I think he's a tough eval because Ohio State their offense has a lot of built-in options for their receivers. So a lot of times receivers are declaring routes late.
And he's watching.
And he's watching and waiting because he doesn't know where these guys are going to run.
True.
And they should be declaring their intentions a lot sooner. And even
like Mack Jones is just boom. Yeah.
Yeah, because their routes are more clearly defined. And I think a lot of that plays into it. But,
that's a good point.
You could say, well, he should anticipate it or whatever. But
not if it's a choice route.
I've seen receivers in I've seen receivers in Ohio State's offense declare their intentions way late, and now you're forcing your quarterback to throw into an extremely tight window, and that's what he gives you. He can still do that.
No question.
One throw comes to mind where he threw a bomb from the far hash down outside the numbers for a touchdown, like 55 yards in the air against Penn State. I mean, it's just unreal what some of these guys can do.
He's more physically gifted than Lawrence, I think.
Yeah, and I think Shanahan likes him. I think he would move up for him if he could. He's a quarterback that spent time at the Shanahan's quarterback camp, so he's something.
So familiarity.
It's familiarity, and it's an intriguing move for them.
Yeah. Also, I think he'd be a quarterback who would benefit from the switch from a spread RPO to under center play action because he's got the arm for it.
Yeah.
Why do you want him throwing slants all day when he can actually bomb it? I like that fit for him. And the other thing is, I was reading his bio. He was a baseball player in high school, shortstop, second baseman, MLB draft potential. I like quarterbacks that played baseball because baseball players are natural throwers. They've been doing it their whole lives. They have all the different arm slots. That gives me more confidence in him, actually. So
yeah, I agree. They look more athletic. They're just better. They're better throwers.
Yes. Okay. So who do you have after Fields?
After Fields, this is going to catch a lot of heat, but I go Mack Jones.
I like Mack Jones too. He's better than I thought he'd be. Why do you like him?
Because I think in the draft class that he's in, he's probably the best quarterback that does everything you want to see. Pocket mobility, throwing with anticipation, and he has to because he's not an athletic guy.
No, he's not.
He'll stand in there and make more plays from the pocket. It's almost like kind of watching a Tom Brady at Michigan type thing. Brady at Michigan wasn't.
Jack Hammer was saying the same thing to me. He's like, he reminds me of Brady. I was like, wow, I'm not going to tell him when you said that. But yeah, I'm glad you said it because I see it.
I think the only difference now is Jones would come out a lot sooner than Brady did in the draft. But they're guys that, and now that's not saying he's going to be like that in the NFL. No, nobody knows. I mean, there's not going to be another person that wins 7 Super Bowls and 10 trips. I don't even think Mahomes will do that now, just based on the last game. But he is a guy that does everything probably a lot better than most quarterbacks in the draft, just because of the type of quarterback he is. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's an anticipation thrower better than a lot of quarterbacks coming out than I've ever seen. So
better player than Tua, you think?
I didn't watch a lot of Tua at Alabama. I think the situation he was in Miami it's not a good one. They kept starting him and benching him for Fitzpatrick. That's just weird. Maybe probably up there with Tua though. I mean that team has going to have their last 3 quarterbacks in the NFL as starters. So
if the Niners took him at 12, would you be mad?
No, I would not.
Would you like him to take him 12?
I think you could probably get him later. I mean, it wouldn't be if it depends on who's left on the board. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't crush him for it. I think it would be a good move, but it wouldn't be like my first choice depending on who's left. I
just have a feeling if the Niners don't take him at 12, the Patriots will take him at 14.
Yeah,
but maybe the Patriots don't feel like taking a quarterback round 1. I don't know. Just to feel like the Saban Belichick connection.
Maybe the Patriots are waiting for them to cut Garoppolo, depending on what the 49ers do. I think he's probably going to end up going back there if that happens.
Yeah. All right. It's okay. Who you got after Jones?
Zach Wilson.
What do you like about Zach?
Just an unbelievable deep thrower. And I think that's just the nature of BYU's offense. You don't get to see him throw a lot over the middle, intermediate throws. It's a lot of, hey, this guy's got an arm. We like this matchup out here. Yeah. We're just going to let him throw it. And he's just deadly accurate with it. And he does it on the run.
Yes.
You know, the one thing, the reason why I have him so low is because you don't see enough of the other throws. And he can make them, but we don't get enough of a visual variety. Not enough variety in there. And that's just the nature of their offense. I think he can do it, but in a year and a half that he was a starter, or 2 years, it's just because of the injury in 2019, he didn't do a lot of it.
Okay, and the last 3 quarterbacks I'd be interested in, if you want to rank them, are Lance, Traskmond.
Lance, what I would put next. Okay. I don't know enough about Mond. I know you guys are really high on him. And Trask, I've told you this in the past. I just don't think I think he's a good backup, probably, honestly.
Fair. Okay. Well, can you explain to me why you prefer Mack Jones to Trask? If you humor me.
It doesn't even have anything to do with Trask's weapons. I just think he's a weaker arm thrower than Jones.
Okay.
The weapons aside, I mean, in the NFL, he's not going to be able to lob balls up like he does to Kyle Pitts all the time.
Fair.
And some of those are good throws. I've watched a little bit of him recently. He's not bad by any means. I think, if he's not a backup, he's probably a low tier starter at least. Okay. Someone compared him to Josh Allen, and
no. I mean, he's big like that, but that's it.
Yeah, but he's not a runner, and he's not a big arm thrower. So
Josh Allen has the strongest arm I've ever seen. By the way,
it's incredible.
It's ridiculous. I hate when people compare quarterbacks to Josh Allen. Like, he's no.
Well, 49er fans should be careful with that, because if you do get a Josh Allen type, then you have to be willing to sit as a fan for 2 years and wait for him to come around.
And don't yell about it.
Yeah.
Because he had, a lot of people were making fun of Josh Allen early on, right?
Nobody liked him. I didn't like him. I mean, he even had he had a stretch in the middle of the season where he looked like old Josh Allen.
True.
But
he's a little scattershot, but he's improved a lot.
But he's improved a lot, and Buffalo's been patient with it. I mean, his upside and his peak plays are a lot better than his floors. So they had to wait, and I think that was a smart move on their part.